So folks, you can see the fishing is very good at the minute, and while it's good, I thought I'd show you a nice little rig tip, because this is something that I think is really important, especially for your margin fishing or when you're fishing up against a far bank, and especially in shallow water. I've been doing a little bit of filming here today at Holly Farm, and I just thought for maybe half hour or so I'd have a go in the margins, catch a few fish. And you know what? There's so many fish down there, it's making it difficult to actually catch them. You might think that the more fish the merrier, but unfortunately, like a lot of commercial fisheries, this place is rammed with fish. F1s, little carp, big carp, you name it. And when you get a lot of fish in your swim, you get a lot of line bites and you get a lot of foul hook fish, and if you're not careful, you just get into a massive mess. We've all been there, last hour of a match, and you've been feeding that margin, you're ready to go down there, and you can see tails waving at you, and you just can't catch the fish effectively because there's too many there. You're just getting line bites, floats dancing all over the place. This rig goes some way to sorting that out. So, this is a mega heavy rig for fishing in the edge. We've got about 18 inches of water down in the margins, normal territory for a 4x12s float, something like that, 0.2, 0.3 float. This is a 0.5 float, takes quite a lot of weight, and you need that weight down to keep everything nice and stable. You can control the rig. I'm catching an odd little perch down there as well because I'm fishing maggots. You can bomb it past those smaller fish. You can control the rig in amongst all that fin movement with that heavier weight. So I've cut down that float. Ideally, I'd like to find a foot, and I have no problems using a 0.5 of a gram float in a foot of water, but it's 18 inches down there. We've got to work with that. So 0.16 main line, nice and durable. We've got an 0.14 hook length. The important part of it is it's only 3 inches long, so we can get this weight very close to the hook, keep everything nice and stable. And this weight isn't even shot or slot shot. It is literally a tungsten weight. I found it in the carp section of a tackle shop. It's a tungsten weight, nice and dense, slides up and down the line, doesn't really matter. But that keeps everything as still as we can because, like I say, quite a few fish down there. Let's see if we can catch a fish for you because, like I say, fishing's really good. Now, all we've got are some maggots and a few casters because we've been filming earlier and the name of the game was maggot and caster fishing shallow. So ideally we'd want to be doing this with maybe pellets or sweet corn, something that, with a bit more weight about it, but I think to show you guys the rig, we'll just do it with what we've got. And I guess it shows as well that it doesn't really matter what bait you're fishing, your presentation, you know, remains the same. You've got to think about your presentation all the time, whether it's maggots, casters, pellets, corn. You know, keeping that bait still, that's paramount. So look, we can get our bait down, and we can try and bomb it past those little perch, which we've had a few issues with. Helps with that, but also, you can see the fish don't mind it. Didn't even get me bait in the water then. But also keeps it still for a big fish to obviously find the bait. We're not fishing mega heavy because there's a lot of F1s in this lake, and I'd say that's the predominant species. But I'm guessing we've got gear on that should cope with most of the carp we hook. I think this feels like a carp. We were filming earlier for my own YouTube channel, fishing shallow across towards the reeds, and that was fantastic. A load of F1s, but these fish down here are different. Obviously margin fish often means some big boys.
Right, if you want to get better at fishing and you love your fishing and want those little extras that make you catch more fish, all you've got to do is subscribe to The Edge. So how do you do it? Well, you can go on the website, www.anglingedge.co.uk. On there, we've got a massive catalogue of videos. We've got detailed videos, short videos, tips, hints, tricks, all different types of fishing, feeder float, rivers, still waters, you name it, we've got it. And you can also subscribe on YouTube and watch all your favorite videos on YouTube as well. All the back catalogue is on there. Get subscribed and enjoy it.
And I think we've hooked a decent fish. Hopefully you can remember early in the year, because Lee and I, we shot a great underwater video, really detailed underwater. The camera was literally 6 inches away from the fish taking the bait, and we fished shallow up against that camera, and you could see the fish coming in, taking the hook bait, taking the feed, and it just showed how fast the fish were and how aggressive they were. And if you've not seen that video, I urge you to look it up and watch it. It's on our Edge website, and it taught Lee and myself so much about how commercial fishery fish feed. I think I might take this opportunity just to feed a little bit of bait, because we can feed that bait and hopefully there's a fish waiting for us when we drop in again. Like I say, most of the fish in here tend to be F1s, so we've got fortunate hooking in a nice chunky carp by the looks of it. Oh mate, up you come. Oh, schoolboy netting. We should have had him that time. I'll try and get him this time. We've got him, he's in jail. Beautiful fish, probably about £4, something like that. Maybe 5 if we're being generous. Just hooked in that top lip. We'll hold him up for you. So, don't think we've got any rush to get back in. I'm going to give him £4. We'll click £4 for him. Let's put him back. Let's see if we can catch another fish. We might be pushing it, because that was a great result. We might be pushing it for 2, but let's see. Double maggot. Like I say, it could be anything. It could be pellets, corn meat, you name it. It's all about that heavy rig though, so fed me bait. Tried to sneak my bait in, if anything, because I know there's loads of fish there. And that is nicely presented. Probably about 3 mil of bristle above the water surface. Sitting there perfectly, ready for a little tiny perch to peck at the end of it, unfortunately. Going again. I'm not going to feed again, because I think we got that bait in the swim. You're always going to miss a few bites with this tactic, because you're fishing in the margins. Obviously there's loads of fish there. Even with this heavy rig, you're still going to get a few line bites or a few missed bites, but it just cuts down on that. You can see there, it's just sitting nice. It's not getting blown around by any fin movements. And also it's quite a steep shelf. So the fact that we've got that short hook length with a lot of weight down means that we know that we're fishing effectively. There we go. We know we're fishing, you know, with our bait on the bottom, or it's not off the bottom, it's actually fishing for us effectively. There you go, 2 in 2, I'm taking that. Little F1, so we've had a carp, little F1 for you. hopefully you can see the merits of having just a couple of nice heavy but short rigs in your box. Don't forget folks, loads more videos on the Edge website, full detailed videos. If you subscribe, you get all of the back catalogue of videos as well. So there's videos detailing feeder fishing, pole fishing, you know, river fishing with a stick float or bolognese. There's every conceivable method and venue you can think of. So no matter where you're visiting this weekend, there'll be a video there to give you a bit of advice. Until next time, tight lines.